Hi there. I am focused on planning for Ryan, Siobhan, Shochi, and Russell. This group's diversity from Ryan's moderate Down syndrome to Russell's EBD and Xochi's dyslexia demands a proactive and highly flexible system. The best framework to implement is universal Design for Learning, UDL. UDL is not about fixing lessons after we identify barriers. It's about designing them to be accessible from the start. This aligns perfectly with the needs of our group. Multiple means of representation, expression, and engagement are things that we need to consider. Multiple means of representation helps Xochi and Ryan by using visuals, audio, and hands-on materials instead of just text. The multiple means of expression will allow Siobhan and Xochi to show what they know through speaking, drawing, and building, which is better than focusing on a written assignment. And then multiple means of engagement is crucial for Russell, offering choices and fostering self-regulation to help him manage his impulses and anxiety. UDL ensures all of our students can access the content and demonstrate their learning. To move them beyond basic recall and develop higher order thinking skills, specifically an analysis, evaluation, and creation, will use an activity called community problem solvers. The students will work in multi-ability groups to identify a simple local problem, like a messy playground or a confusing hallway sign, and then design a viable solution. To do this, they will analyze, create, evaluate, and present their findings. When they analyze, they can identify the root problem or root cause of the problem. When they're creating, they can brainstorm multiple solutions. The evaluation would be the weigh-in of the pros and cons of either cost, effect, impact on their top ideas. And then they'll present a final pitch or poster or some kind of verbal proposal. The complexity of the problem and the solution can be naturally differentiated. Ryan can focus on labeling bins, while Siobhan and Shochi can tackle a slightly more complex issue, but everyone engages in the same rigorous thinking process. All right, moving on. To ensure the activity is successful for everyone, we'll employ two specific supports, strategy and accommodation. Strategies can include visual timers, scheduled check-ins. We'll break the activity into 10 to 15-minute chunks using visual timers. This will give Russell the structure he needs to prevent being overwhelmed, reducing the likelihood of a meltdown. Our scheduled brief check-ins every 10 minutes provide immediate clarity and low-key behavioral support, keeping him regulated and on task. This also will aid Ryan by keeping tasks simple and time-bound. Accommodations that we need to consider could be like pre-filled visual graphic organizers. These will provide a template with large boxes, clear labels, simple visuals for problem solutions, and pros and cons. This is vital for Sochi and Siobhan because it reduces the writing and organizational demands. They can focus their energy on analysis and evaluation, the high level thinking parts, instead of struggling with the mechanics of writing. For Ryan, he can use pictures or dictate his ideas to a partner right into a simple organizer. If we had to shift this to a fully online classroom, changes would be necessary across the board. Framework change could include leaning heavily on the UDL principle of multiple means of representation, ensuring everything has captions and audio descriptions. Activity changes can include the presentation, um, how it would become a little bit shorter, recorded videos, a collaborated Google slide deck, replacing the physical posters. Strategy accommodation changes. The visual timer becomes a shared digital countdown on the screen. The graphic organizer is now a shared collaborative document through Google, or I found another one called Jamboard. Critically for Russell, we would use private chat channels for our scheduled check-ins. This gives him a safe, discreet place to communicate his frustration or ask for help, which will prevent the public anxiety that can trigger a meltdown also. Finally, two specific technologies that we can use as major assets for this group, I think, is going to be text-to-speech software. The benefit is a powerful equalizer. It will directly support Sochi's dyslexia and Ryan's non-reading status by reading digital text and instructions aloud. It bypasses their literacy barriers, allowing them to access grade level content with their ears and not just their eyes. Second technology would be the digital choice boards and learning menus. The benefit of a digital choice board will offer students options for approaching various aspects of the project. This will organize their choices, especially important for Russell as it gives him a sense of control and ownership, which is very effective in managing anxiety and minimizing impulse behaviors. Additionally, Siobhan and Shochi can choose options that play to their strengths. I hope these plans will allow us to deliver an effective and inclusive experience for all four of our students. I'm looking forward to your feedback and collaborating with you on this group. Have a great day.